stuff. He created that for me. Please make sure you guys favorite him. All right, good to go. I'm streaming 101, guys, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome in. Appreciate you guys coming in. Tonight we're talking about featured shows and how they can benefit us as streamers. What the benefits are, getting by some of the anxieties too, because featured means the app is presenting these different shows, and they definitely are they're high in viewership for sure. I've been in a couple different featured shows where there's been over 1,000 views in 1 hour. And it's absolutely really, it's a big thing to be able to get onto the featured shows and to get your name out there. I wouldn't be where I am right now. I've done over 200 featured shows in the time that I've been here. And it's about networking, right? It all boils back down to that. We talk about it a lot here on Streaming 101. I talk about it a lot. Featured shows are a really big one because they get your face out there. They get you interacting with other people in front of crowds. And I'm pushing for this to be featured. I want this show to really, get that spotlight that being featured it presents. And I think that we can get this out there. I really want to be first of all just thankful for Groovy Beach. She's our first guest here tonight. She was the first featured show that I actually went on my adventure in here, man. And it definitely set me off. She had a catalyst effect with the featured show for me, because it just put me into that confidence level that I needed to be in to go and put myself out there on other featured shows. And you guys can see, we're going to get Groovy in here, and she's going to talk a little bit about her adventure and the featured show aspect. She's got a show that she does, and I'm going to let her get in here. I'm going to let her talk about it and plug that away. So without further ado, if you guys, just real quick, if anybody's doing anything in here, if you guys are coming in, I'm not acknowledging you. It's not because I don't see you. It's just because we're engaged in the show for the moment. I will acknowledge people, part ways through the show and stuff like that. But I see you. Howdy doody, Ranger.
Officer Groovy, I hear you've been breaking some laws around these parts.
I'm so done.
I hear some of y'all been doing some naughty streaming out there, breaking that rule, driving, screaming.
Groovy, I love you, man. You're so awesome, man.
I'm gonna go downtown with Groovy. No driving and streaming now. Don't let me see you driving and streaming now, y'all. And that twerking gots to go. You ladies with them big old booties ain't got to show them like that. No,
not just the ladies, apparently, but that's not something we'll talk about right now. Groovy, it's a pleasure to have you on my show. I really appreciate you coming out and showing some love. I've known you most of pretty much my entire journey on here. And, I don't think I had an opportunity really, but this is what was going to be my time. And I thought about this, and I just want to thank you, because you were part of the initial push for me. And, you really helped me get myself to a place on this app where I'm the most confident I've ever been in my life. And, I'm embracing each. I just want you to know you absolutely made a resounding effect on me. And, we kind of crossed paths a little bit, man, and we went our separate directions, but now we're back reunited again. And it's an absolute pleasure. And I just wanted for you to know that, this is the type of effect that a featured aspect and putting yourself in a spotlight can have. And it's people like Groovy and Lux and so many other people on this app make that possible, you know. So I just wanted to say thank you, because
Thank you, because a lot of people come through my doors. I've helped a lot of people get their top badges. I've helped a lot of people become somebody on this app. I've made regular DJs famous DJs, and everybody forgets me. And it hurts sometimes, honestly. And that meant a lot to me. So thank you. It's so appreciated, because I work hard.
I see it. And you've worked really, really hard all of the time that I've been on this app. You've been going steady every week, doing a lot of work. And I know that there's people that are behind the scenes that help us put these things on, right? But there's a lot of work and there's a lot of pressure that's on the streamer. Mm-hmm. So, it's something that I'm glad that you were recruited for this episode, because you have a lot of experience. And that's kind of what the show's about here, is just sharing that experience with other people so that they can benefit the way that we have.
I love it. I love that. That's an excellent choice of the show. It really is.
I think this is it's gonna take off. We're doing the pilot episodes and all that, and getting them all.
Pilot episode right now?
Well, we're recording, absolutely. Awesome. So that's kind of the point, is that I want them to see the effect that this does, and I've had nothing but good feedback from people about it. So awesome. I'm really excited to dive in here. Why don't you first of all tell us, seeing as we're about featured shows this week, why don't you plug your show and
I have a featured show tonight at midnight Eastern time, you guys. That's tonight at midnight. Right when Saturday begins, so does a groovy game show.
Love it. And I like to say that I have taken champion status a few weeks on that show, and I'm gonna run it back again soon with Groovy.
Are you a grand champion?
I know I didn't get there. I got two wins the first time, and then I won 1 week, and then wasn't able to make it back for my next week, so I forfeited, I guess. And
yep.
Yeah, I remember.
Winning 3 weeks in a row is very difficult.
Yeah, I think I can do it though. I think I can get up to that grand champion status. I'm a few different featured shows champion for their season.
I'll lock you down. Keep you in that.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what your show's about? And
all right. Well, my featured show, you guys, is about, there's 4 contestants that played 3 different games during the 1 hour show to try and become a reigning champion. I split up the 4 contestants, so 2 of them on one team and 2 on the other team, only for the first game. And we do 3 rounds of charades. And then if the one guesses correctly, both of them on the team get the same amount of points. They get to now guess if they want to do what difficulty level, 1, 2, or 3. 3 is extremely difficult. I can't do 3s, and that's why I put them in the 3 category. I think I'm going to move them to the 5s. I think all the 3s should all be 5s. Anyway, then I also added a half-point category where they can have me act out on their behalf. Then we continually act as many of those half pointers out as possible. Then at the end of the 1 minute, they get to collect all of them, and they will combine whatever number that will be their score. So that's for, then we move on to team 2, do it the same way. They're only allowed 1 round of the half pointers per show. So they have to pick and choose if they want to use it and when they want to use it. And then we have the second game, which everybody's on their own again. They're not a team anymore. And that is a true or false game with very unique, bizarre statements is what I'm looking for. Very unique, bizarre statements that you would not have a clue about. Nobody knows them. Nobody. They're that bizarre. Here, I'll give you guys a sneak peek about one of them tonight. If all the Earth's ice were to melt, sea levels could rise over 180 feet. True or false?
True.
That is true, correct.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are trickier. They're very unique. They're not stuff we learned in school, that's for sure. Anyway,
I find school nowadays, in school, even back in my day and age, was not geared towards what life is.
Right,
It's
exactly.
funny
I
you say
know
that.
people had to balance checkbooks and build our credit, so on and so forth. But anyway, my third game is my favorite. It's called a Groovy Scavenger Hunt. I have a wheel, and what I do is I spin this fun wheel, which I have hundreds of items on this wheel, you guys. And they are some weird items like a cracked egg or a holy sock or the dirtiest ashtray. So it's really bizarre what you find on this wheel. I spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on is the item that all 4 contestants have to go retrieve if they have it and be the first one back with the correct item.
A crown or tiara.
Yeah. Now, it's also interesting that I've set up in every game where they can be disqualified. So there's a lot of rules where they can be disqualified, get the buzzer, and they're out for that particular round. So it's really fun. It's very fast-moving show. To have 3 games in a 1-hour show is very quick moving.
That took you some time, right, to develop that, I would assume.
I would love to talk about that. Because when I first came up with my idea, it was a little different. When it became featured, Chris Casper changed it a little, or a lot. They do change your feature shows. Come up with a great show, create it. Here's how I did my show in the beginning, you guys. A groovy game show started off with one game called a theme show game show, where I played a brief soundtrack of either a game show or a TV show, and they had to guess what show it was from. Then there was a winner from that show. Then I did the scavenger hunt. There was a winner from that show. Those 2 winners went to Games of Chance, which was the 3rd game. And Games of Chance was exactly what it says. Games of Chance. You might have to pick a number, and I drop dice in your box. First one who hit their number wins or loses. It depends how I played it that day. We might have played bingo. I have pages of games that were all for Games of Chance. It was a blast. But Chris Casper actually decided, he said that he really wants to see his, he doesn't like fate being in someone else's hands. So if he's going to win a show, he wants to win it because he won it. Not because he got lucky or unlucky. Yeah. So they came up with the idea of the charades. And you know what? It's so fun. It was such a great idea. Such a great idea. Charades is really a fun show. I mean, a really fun game to play on stream. Anyway, when I first came up with my idea, what I did to test it, you want to test your game shows or your show, whatever kind of show you're going to run. You want to test it.
That's so what I did. I did that with this, as I did a little bit of a test run just to see how it would go. And the first 2 shows, I had a resounding response from it, which really, now like I'm definitely pushing because I think that this can definitely do something. But that she's right. You got to test the theory out, right? If you do.
Well, because my game show needed 4 contestants, I came up with this game show the 2nd week or the 1st week I started streaming. I knew I needed to come up with content. So I was like, what can I come up with content? And that's when I created my game. And I did a knockoff of Let's Make a Deal. Remember, all the audience wore costumes, and then they had to pick door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3.
Yeah.
I even had 3 boxes. You had to pick box number 1.
Wayne does it now, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep.
So they had to pick box 1, 2, or 3 at the end for Games of Chance. That was another game of chance. But anyway, so what I did was, because I was a brand new streamer, I didn't have 4 friends boxing up with me every night. So what I did was I jumped around to different streams until I found a box party. Then I jumped in the box party and I said, hey, can we play my game show? I'm testing my show. Can we practice it? Can I practice it? Yeah. So that's how I did it. I didn't get to mute people, nothing like that. But I tested it out in other people's streams. I tested it out about 15 times. Every time I tested it, there was stuff I needed to tweak. There was different rules I needed to add. There was a lot that needed to take place. So definitely, if you want to have a featured show, test it out. Take notes on yourself. What can you do? Because you will need to tweak your shows. You will need to you'll realize that this needs to change. This doesn't fit. This is too long. This is too short. And what's very important is that the app, Chris Casper will teach you when you get your featured show that you need to plug your show every 7 to 10 minutes. Go ahead.
Let's just quickly do that really quick, guys. Welcome to Streaming 101. I'm your host, Real Deal. It's for every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure that you guys are favoriting the guests that I have tonight. We have Groovy's Beach in the box currently. Lux is going to be coming in a little bit. Make sure you guys favorite them. Go check them out. Check their featured shows out. That's what it's about tonight. Our episode is heavily on the featured show aspect and what it does for us as streamers, how we build this, how we participate, like all these different aspects that come from it. Again, make sure you favorite Groovy. So continue. It's you're giving us good lessons here, you know, and I think that people that have the premise where they are thinking, hey man, I might want to do something here. I might want to create my own thing.
Everybody needs content. Everyone needs to have content. You want to keep viewers coming to your stream, you have to come up with content. You guys just can't sit here and play on your phones and watch a movie. You'll never go anywhere. You have to make content. So if you guys see a star behind Real Deal's name, don't forget to click that star. And if the star is not there, just a ticket, well, click at the ticket.
I love that.
Click at the ticket or I'll write you a ticket.
So you're a host. I love that too. Get in there. You're a host of a featured show, but you've obviously say that again. Hostess of my bad. You're a hostess of a featured show, but you've obviously had your involvement in being on featured shows as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, right. I started, well, in the beginning when I practiced my show, I tested it 15 times. Then I contacted Emoji J. He's a great contact for recording your shows. And then he'll help you submit them. You submit them, you email them into Chris Casper. But there's so after you get it wired, start having them recorded, submit them, let them know you're interested in trying to audition for a featured show. Chris Casper is wonderful. He will take your show, give you some suggestions, maybe change something, maybe change the title. He's really amazing at what he does. So you definitely want to hear his advice for sure.
100%. Yeah, like that's I'd like to have this show if it needs some tweaks or whatever, but I think that the premise behind this show can be beneficial. I encounter new streamers every day. Yep. Every day that are fresh on the app and they're looking for, you know, they're testing the waters. But I think that a lot of these people, and I know that myself included in that, you look for guidance, you look for assistance, like what do I do, what's good here, what's not good here. Yep. And I think that this show really has that premise. And like I've been on so many featured shows myself.
Yes, really being on like as Real Deal stated in the very beginning of this show, he stated that being on a featured show gets your face out there. Those were his exact words. Let me tell you guys, as new streamers, you want to get your faces out there. We need to know you. People need to get to know you. They need to see your face. They need to see your personality. So a featured show is an excellent. It's the best way to get out there. It really is. Go to Fave parties. I throw one every Tuesday night at midnight. However, the featured show will get your personality out there, and you'll get to know other people that have featured shows. You'll learn a lot about it. You'll get over your nerve. Well, you never get over the nerves. I still get nerves before my featured show every night. But really, you guys, being in featured shows is so important because you get a lot of favorites. You get a lot of publicity. A lot of people come into featured shows because they're featured, so they're highlighted. And when they're highlighted, everybody sees them. Everybody comes in. I usually get about 1,000 people in. Well, I stream after my featured show as well. But during a featured show, maybe 350 to 500 people. You know?
So that's probably, I think that's probably the average number, guys, is around 350 to 500 people. But in some of the featured shows that I've like personally been on, there's been over 1,000 views in an hour.
I had
And that, when you get, whether it's 350 people or it's 1,000 people, it's major exposure. Major. A lot of people are seeing your face. They're either going to say, you know what, I want to check this guy or this lady out, or they're going to say, nope, I don't.
Yep.
Right.
And before the app's divorced, I had 1,500 views. And that's a lot considering my show's at midnight. Now, here's something I want to brag about. One of the top badges on this app that works for the app told me that my show has the highest retention on the app. Not the highest views, the highest retention, which is I'm even more proud of. If my show was earlier, like 9 or 10 p.m., it could possibly be the highest viewed and the highest retention. I would love to see Chris Casper move it earlier, but that's if he has the availability and if he wants to do so. So it's really a fun show. You guys should definitely come out and play on it. I love to get your face out there. Real Deal can vouch. It is a blast to play.
100%, man. I enjoy myself. It's an interactive game that you are constantly going and you're constantly a part of. And there's just a lot of good aspects about it. As she just talked about, she has the highest retention on the app for featured shows. And that does turn over in views. Groovy will definitely get more views because of that. She's been around for a long time and she has a lot of experience on here, and you definitely need to go and check her out. Go check out that show tonight. It's at midnight.
And it always feels like you're on a real game show because I'm on the mic and you're under pressure. It's a lot of fun. There's rules. It's fast. People say they feel like they're on a real game show. And most people want to play the next week. However, the only person allowed to play the following week is the reigning champion. They're allowed to return the next week if they want to defend their title as reigning champion.
Let me just flex that arm a little bit as a returning champion. Right. I'm telling you, I'm coming to get that spot. I am, absolutely.
I want to see you become a grand champion. If you guys can win 3 consecutive weeks in a row, you become a grand champion. And then I host this Supreme Grand Championship. And that's not as easy as you think.
So obviously there's some different aspects to your Supreme Championship.
We do. Yeah. The wheel is different, and we throw in questions, we throw in math, we throw in a few other extra things now. But as far as you were stating earlier, other featured shows, you guys, this app has a plethora of featured shows. It's such a great variety. They've got dating shows, they've got talk shows, they've got game shows, they've got trivia shows, they've got acting shows, spontaneous shows. There's so many different featured shows on this app. There's no reason you cannot get plugged into all of them. Hit up hit up Emoji J. They'll get you on all these shows. You can get all the shows and be found very quickly on the app.
We talked about admins last week, and Beard Raider and Emoji J, or sorry, the week before. Not last week, but the week before. We talked about that, and they were they're 2 of my Beard Raider and Emoji J are both involved in this show. They do a lot of behind the scene work for me that makes it a very, very easy process. I just have to focus on kind of, the show itself, and they take care of all the logistics for me. They are 2 of the greatest admins that I've encountered on this app. And if you guys don't have them favorited, favorite me, because without them, she was absolutely right. Recruiting for featured shows, Emoji J and Beard Raider, talk to both of them because they are the people. They will get you guys out there.
Are they in here right now? Real deal?
Yeah, Emoji J is in here. If you're in here, Emoji J, just throw out something in the chat there.
It's me, Emoji J, right? It's me. So everybody can favorite you.
That right. And Beard Raider I'm not sure if Beard Raider came in yet or not, but she'll be in at some point.
You definitely wanna connect with Emoji J and the Beard Raider. Or you can connect with the streamer who hosts the featured show by hitting them up on Instagram. That being said, yes, you need to create an Instagram account that's affiliated with your streamer name, which is the better choice. So like my name is Groovy's Beach. I made an Instagram called Groovy's Beach. So it's very
Real Deal Meet Me Instagram. And it's that Instagram is the place, guys, that you're going to get all of the flyers that are for the featured shows. You're going to get invites, you're going to group chats, you're like all that stuff, the information that comes along of how you participate in the said featured show, because everybody has like their different things. And
featured shows where during the show itself, you have to have a secondary device because they will contact you and ask you questions during the show. Mine is going to change into that. From now on, you have to have a secondary device to be on my show because we've caught someone cheating twice now. So, yep, got to have a secondary device.
Got the secondary device. It's got, and you know, just to touch on that really quick, when you're streaming, a secondary device having your social feeds, so Instagram, Snapchat, having that stuff at the availability, not to mention like music can be on your backup device. Like there's all kinds of things. Maybe we'll touch on that for a week's episode, but having that backup device is key, is very, very key.
You can look and find out if your friend is in another battle, if they're sleep streaming, which is a big no-no.
Yeah,
if they have a box party going on, so you're not sitting there with a battle request waiting for a half an hour that's not gonna ever get picked up.
Yeah.
Thank you for favoriting him.
Guys, real quick, welcome to Streaming 101. I'm your host, Real Deal. Every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we have a great show. It's about featured shows. I've got two wonderful ladies in here. As you can see, Groovy's Beach, Top Badge. She's got a featured show every Tuesday night at midnight, a groovy game show.
Featured shows tonight, Friday night, midnight.
Right, that's what I said. Yeah, her featured show is tonight at midnight. Make sure you guys go check it out.
And my favorite party to grow your streams as well is Tuesday night at midnight.
Do you have any like events or auctions, battle royales?
We do have an auction coming up on March 19th. It's a Pisces only auction. My birthday is March 16th. The auction is March 19th. So if you guys are able to come and show some love, I believe I'm at 8:50. I'm the second to last person. So nice. 8:50 p.m. Yeah.
So as you see here, guys, I just want to point this out really, really quick. At the end of this message right here is about IG, right? It's key. It's the way that all show, anybody that has a show where there's guests included or anything like that, admins, this is how you're going to contact them, is on Instagram.
Yep.
So make sure that you have that all locked up, and you know, make an Instagram that is specific towards streaming. You can have an Instagram that's not connected into your Facebook. That's what my Instagram is. It's not directly connected to my Facebook. And that's just for like security and, you know, privacy things right there, right? I keep my family and my friends away from this and that, just because they don't have any say in it, right? If somebody were to go on there and attack.
Oh, one more important thing. This is very important as well to share. On a featured show, these are the important rules to follow. Show rules. No drinking. That means no drinking alcohol through a beer bottle, a beer can, a wine glass. Don't be intoxicated, and don't drink alcohol during the show, please. Just tea, water, whatever. Don't be drunk. Also, no smoking during the 1 hour featured show. No cursing, so you have to hold your tongue. And please, by all means, no matter how bad the urge, please keep your clothes on during the featured shows. It's really tacky when people disrobe during a featured show. It's a good way to get banned permanently off the app, too.
That part. There's lots of things that you've shared tonight, Groovy, and I know that people are taking notes. Is there anything else that you think would be beneficial real quick before we let you go?
Yes. One more thing. If you guys have an auction coming up or a big battle coming up, get your little tushies on a featured show the week before and the day of or the day before. That way, at the end of the featured show, when you announce anything coming up, tell us about your stream and about yourself, anything you have going on. You get to plug your battle. You get to plug your auction. So time your featured shows. If it's 2 weeks out and you want to be on one this week, great. But be sure you try to be on one the week of your show. That's a really good way to get your little voice heard.
And that's, I include myself in a lot of featured shows, and, you know, leading up to this and leading up to all my events, I try to make sure that I hit a featured show, if not two, in the same week that that event is happening, because it's a wicked way for you to promote. Absolutely. You're getting all the viewership that comes in with a featured show, and you get to talk about your events and your stream. It's like there's no better advertising, really.
And also have a little grace. Don't be structured. Don't be too hard-headed. You have an open mind when you bring your show that you work so hard to create. When you bring it before the director of content, who has a very difficult job. Chris Casper has a very difficult job. When you bring him your show, be like Jell-O. Allow him to mold your show.
Yeah.
He knows what's
you have to have an open mind.
Successful on the apps.
Yeah, you have to have an open mind on here. She's absolutely right. And especially when you get the chance to bring if you're working on a featured show and you get the chance to bring it in front of Chris, you go in there with an open mind so that you can have what the app sees as a successful thing. Because if they have the input and they see that you're willing to work with them, they will work with you.
Absolutely. And be ready. Don't have a lot of glitches. Don't have like, oh, that didn't work right. That didn't work right. Be sure your recordings are flawless, almost flawless, before you submit them to Chris Casper, because you don't want to waste his time. He's a very busy man. But you want to submit it with confidence and, again, with an ability to move like Jell-O if he has other ideas and suggestions.
See, that's why we're working with Tom, doing 10 episodes before I submit it in and get everything going. I've got tab where I think we're on episode 7, if I'm not mistaken. So this is, you know, it's a great thing. Featured shows are an awesome thing. Again, if you guys don't know Groovy's Beach, please make sure you hit her with a fave. I really appreciate you being here and taking part in my show, Groovy. It's an absolute pleasure. Very welcome. And we'll definitely connect.
What? Wait, what?
I said we'll definitely connect for me to come be on your show again, 100%. And I'll be there at midnight.
I'll see everybody tonight at midnight. Oh yeah, and you get to wear a costume on my show. The audience,
you know I'm game. Let's go.
Best costume.
I wear costumes. You can ask around. Oh man, but we won't get into that either tonight. Groovy.
Was that a costume or was that like dental floss? I'm not sure.
Oh my God. Okay, let's not go there. Let's not go there. I appreciate you, Groovy. Guys, again, make sure you hit her with a fave. I will see you later tonight.
Thank you, love. Bye, everyone. See you at midnight.
So real quick, no, we're just gonna, Lux, if you want to request the box, I'm plugging in a little bit of a new feature on the show. We're gonna talk a little bit of a tip of the day. And my tip of the day when it comes to featured shows is don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I think that a lot of people have anxiety when it comes to, you know, putting ourselves out there, putting it out in a spotlight, especially. Don't be afraid to do that and take that jump, because without any risk, there's really no reward. And to be rewarded in this place, you have to take risks that go against sometimes the grain that we go with. You know what I mean? It goes against the tide. Be confident. Exactly. Be confident in yourself and build that up and get out there and put yourself out there, because it's honestly the best way to network. Now we've got another wonderful guest here tonight. I've known this lady for quite some time as well. She has her own featured show as well, which again, I'm going to let her plug. Without further ado, let's get Lux in the box here. Hey.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a guest, man. I've known you for quite some time, Lux, and you getting a featured show and getting to where you have on this app, kudos. Because a lot of
Thank you.
people
Yes.
look to you and see success. Same with Groovy. Groovy's been very successful on the app, and that's kind of the premise. As I said to Groovy, I'm trying to get people that have had that type of success and have the experience that they can come and share that with other streamers, so that we can benefit everybody. I grow,
Right.
we grow, right? So I'm absolutely pleased that you're here. Thank you for being a part of the show.
Thanks so much.
Why don't you start off by plugging your show and letting the viewers know what's up with that?
I would love to. And I too have a microphone, but I don't turn it on because I just get a kick out of the props. Kudos to the prop lead.
That part.
They're groovy. So this is my show. This is Tic Tac Trivia. It's every Saturday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And here, contestants take turns answering trivia questions, trying to get 3 X's or O's in a row, just like tic-tac-toe. And if they do, they get a shot at the bonus round. We usually have time for 2 bonus rounds, but if time does allow, we certainly do have time for more. And my contestants take turns, like I said, answering these trivia questions right here, which are pretty standard. We got art, literature, sports, 80s, 2000s, music, 90s, geography, TV and movies, and we have wild. So if you get the wild correct, you get to put your X or O wherever you would like on the board. And we have the wild wheel. So these are categories that you don't find on the regular board.
Ooh, okay, I like that little twist.
Right. So we spin and see. So we got celebrities, food and drink, animals, Disney, which will probably make its way to the main board. Words, games and hobbies, entertainment, general knowledge. Did I already say celebrities? I always forget. Anyway, so there's our wild wheel. And the categories do switch around during the game. We start out with our little popper to see who goes first, and whoever the pop winner is, the categories will switch around. We go back to them, and so we do have other categories that are also pink. So if you get the steal or the chance, then we also spin the wild wheel. The steal, you get to take your opponent's spot. You boop their X or O out of there, and the chance. If you get it correct, you get the chance to go again. If you get it incorrect, your opponent does have the chance to steal. So that's the only time that you'll get to steal. And that's right. I see sudden death in the comments there. That's right. We never want to leave with a Cats game. We never leave with a tie. So if we get to the end and there is no winners of the bonus round or 2 winners of the bonus round, then we go to sudden death. That's right.
I love it. There's been a lot of thought process put into this. I can see that there's a lot of intricacy. So kudos to you, because obviously the app has seen something here, right? And as you're sitting here describing your show, I realized that it's probably one of the only featured shows on the app that I haven't been on.
So you're going to be on it soon, aren't you? I feel like we have you scheduled, don't we?
I'm coming.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's so crazy. You haven't been on it too.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Awesome.
So I'm definitely gonna get out there and and come and be a part of it, because it's awesome.
Yay!
Awesome. See, you gotta get Ruby. I guaranteed you have your IG linked in your bio.
Yes, yeah, I do. And Jay's my admin as well, guys. So if you guys want to be on the show, you can hit up Jay and Beard Raider too, as well as Meldell.
You see that? I can't talk about it enough. Emoji Jay and Beard Raider featured show. Then let's just press on it a little bit here. They do a lot of stuff behind the scenes for you, right? Just like
totally. Because I can walk in, I do the cards, I do this, but like I don't have to do scheduling. I don't have to. If someone can't make it, they're looking for like fill-ins. Like Jay's doing the intro, Jay's doing flyers. Like people are recruiting people. So like I always joke I'm the talent. I can just walk in and just do the game. So
yep. And you know what? That is the show that we're on here now is not featured. The Streaming 101, but I am going for a featured show. I'm going to be submitting this into. I wanted to do 10 episodes. I have spoken with somebody that said that I need to kind of put my foot on the gas pedal and just go and reach out to them. But I'm sticking to the 10 episodes, and then we're gonna, because I set up a YouTube and all that stuff, and I've got it all recording, right? So
That's good. And the premise is good. When I first started on the app, I remember being confused about everything from etiquette to gifting, and
So
I
much.
tried to,
There's so
yeah,
much.
I tried to look it up. I tried to Google it. I was like, yo, everything is on Google. Everything's out there, right? That is not, there wasn't a like meet me POF. What was on POF I started out, but there's no like meet me POF 101, right? Like this is what you do. This is what you spam. This is what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
don't
there's
cross
so many
snipe.
little tips and tricks, and this is exactly what the show is about. Like we touched down on a topic, obviously, but like you've had a fair amount of experience on the app, right?
Yeah.
If there's anything that you could tell the people that are in this room right now, what do you like? Give out some tips, give out some advice. That's what it's about. I want people to be able to benefit from our success, and to see,
Right.
what I can do this too. So how do I go about
Yes. Right. You know what? And I think it's all about what your goals are, and setting small goals, like, okay, I want to, have a stream and I have like 20 views. Right on, okay, next stream, maybe I'll get like 30 views. And just instead of going like, okay, I want to have 1,000 views right off the bat, because I think that can be like really discouraging. And
So
enjoy
not
being here,
setting the bar, not setting the bar too high. And I talk about that a little bit, just in regular
Right.
day-to-day streaming, about having a low expectation bar and putting that expectation just a little bit higher than it is, and reaching
Right.
those
Right.
goals. That way, like, the
Because I think
expectation
we
bar
see the
is too
success of
high.
others, right? And we're like, I should be there, and we judge ourselves by that too, by not getting there as
That's
well.
right.
So if you're like, okay, you set your own goals, you meet your own goals, and I didn't set out saying, oh, I'm going to have a featured game show. I just set out just having fun and playing a game, and everyone was, enjoying it and liking it. And I'm like, okay, like I've found some content that really works here. And I think a lot about streaming is sort of falling into what works for you. And
Well, I,
yeah.
I think the people that are around me, and like that, frequent around me often, they know that I definitely, like I like to see other people have success, and especially the ones that are around me. And, if there's a way that this is my way, I shouldn't say if there is, because I found it. I found my way to be able to give back to the community and to show other people. And not just that, but also to have that content as well as part of my stream, right? And as streamers, content is key. If you don't have content, if you don't have an ability to keep people in your stream, you're not going to do well here.
Right. And you are your content, like you are your product, right? You're, like selling yourself. People are coming in and hanging out with you with your, personality. And, I know that bringing the content is good and important, but at the same time, like you are your content too. So you come down, you sit, a lot of my streams are like, a stream of consciousness, whatever comes up, but I'll engage and I'll chat, and it, moves to this, and maybe we'll do this. So a lot of them I don't plan out, but I do find it's nice to have my game as a base. I'm like, hey, this is what we're doing every Saturday night. I know that. And then kind of what I do outside of that is fun and engaging too.
That's the name of the game, right? Having a space that's your space, and that you
Right.
you can build this space however you like.
Yes.
Being a part of the featured show community adds an element to your stream that we don't all possess. We don't all have that element, and that element is high viewership.
Right. It's so exciting to get that box too, and your banner goes up, and you get your it's exciting.
You're right at the top of the For You.
Right.
For everybody across the world sees you right there at that top spot for an hour. Like it's, if there's an appeal factor, which, obviously there is, because you guys are featured and you guys have this, right? If there's an appeal factor, people are going to come in, they're going to come see you.
Right.
Real quick. Welcome to Streaming 101, guys. I'm your host, Real Deal, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've had a really, really good show so far. We're coming to near the end. But we're talking about featured shows. I had Groovy's Beach here. Groovy, if you're still in the chat there, please throw your name out there. And I also have Lux, both featured show hosts. Both have had good success on the app. Please hit them both up with favorites. Go and check out their shows. We've got Groovy's Beach show tonight at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we've got Lux's show Saturday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you got to check them out, man. That's what it's about, you know. Get yourself out there. If you want to be on either show, if you want to be a guest on my show, make sure that you hit up our admins. I think we all possess some of the same admins, which is
that's what's up. And once you get it with Emoji J, then he'll like direct you to other shows.
It's facts. Yeah. Without Emoji J, I would not be where I am right now.
No, me neither. He was like, he recorded. He was like, we should do this. We should take this and get it featured. And I was like, really? You think so? And he's like, yeah, man.
It's pushed me to go for featured on here. He said, in the initial couple of weeks when I brought the idea out and I had everything kind of formulate together, he said, man, this is good. And there's nobody else doing it. So I think this could go, I think this could go featured. And I'm like, yeah, you know, they're going to want to put their own twist on it. And we talked a little bit about that before. Now, when you were going through the process of getting your show featured, was there any of that kind of drawback where Chris was like, hey, there's some things here, let's kind of make
there wasn't actually, and I think it was one of the best like meetings I've ever had, because I walked in there and I was like, this is how it goes, this is how I play, bam, 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 and they're like, we love it, see you later, what time do you want? And I was at midnight, I think, and so they were like, okay, well, you can have this time or this time. So I just chose my time. But other than that, like, I think I may have lucked out there because I didn't need to do any tweaking. The name was original, so I didn't have to.
And that just goes to show that the ingenuity that you have and the creativeness, they definitely connected with it, and they wanted to see that on the app. Just because they may want to shape, a little piece here or a little piece there on your show, doesn't mean that you don't have the same ingenuity and the same creativeness. And that, I just throw that out there to anybody that may be having an idea. If you get that idea in front of Chris Casper, in front of the talent team at all, be open with it, be open-minded, allow them to.
Yeah, they're not criticizing, right? It's constructive criticism, right? And they know what they're talking about exactly.
I think that if you're getting to a point where you're in a meeting with them, the chances that you're going to get something featured are pretty good. So go along with it, allow the constructive criticism to help you grow and help you build it, because they're here to help us too. I know there's a lot of controversy about that, and a lot of people say, hey man, I don't go to meet me for anything. They're just money hungry and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a business here. It's an absolute business, and featured shows are part of that business. They are part of the show. They're part of the app. The app and the admins, they operate this stuff. They know that what works and they know what doesn't. So, give them that leeway, and give yourself some leeway and grow. Especially, I think that's the biggest thing where I could say about going in for your own featured show. It's just being open-minded about it and allowing yourself to grow through the process.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. You've obviously, again, I said it with Groovy, you've been on some featured shows as well yourself, right? You have a lot of this streamer, you're out there.
My gosh. Right? I can't even, too many to count. I'm coming up, this is my 3 years of streaming. So I've been here for 3 years, right? And so I can't even count the amount of shows. I can't even remember the first show I was on. I remember how nervous I was, though. How so very, very nervous I was. But the more you do, the more comfortable you get. And Groovy was right. I still get nervous before every one of my shows too. You just want it to go well.
It's nerves, right? There's going to be.
Right.
It's the viewership aspect when it comes to the featured shows and getting those butterflies. Oh my God, there's potentially could be 1,000 people in that hour that are going to see my face.
And the views were better before the app split, Groovy too, because we were up to 1,000 before the split, and then now they're good, but it's different. But that's what goes back to goals. You set different goals, things change, and sometimes you take a step back, and sometimes you're like, oh, why did I even come here to begin with? Yeah.
Now, like I said with Groovy, I like to kind of go over the same things with both guests, just to kind of get your perspective and that kind of stuff. You've obviously had some success on the app. You've been here for 3 years. You're still going. and you've hit that pinnacle of getting your content featured on the app. Is there any type of advice that you would want, your fellow streamers here? Because I know there's quite a few in here. Is there anything that you could say, this is a do or this is a don't? Because that, after all, is what we're here for. Like, that's why I do this show, is I want other people to gain from our experience and our success.
Right. I would say, in terms of don't, like, I guess, like, like maybe the sleep streams aren't maybe the best idea, because if people want to come in and they hear about you, they see you in a show, and then they drop by your stream and maybe you're not there, then they don't really get to engage with your personality. But I, not too much. You don't fall asleep on purpose. But then, but like, so, I've been to some sleep streams that, like, they specifically do that, and it's comforting to be with someone while you're sleeping. But at the same time, like, if you want sort of to be getting yourself out there, then I wouldn't do that, because, people can come in and they can, meet you. And like I said, like, you are your product. Like, people are going to come in, and they want to engage with you and hang out with you, and I think it's about, like, just enjoying the company and having everyone. It's like everyone's coming to Christmas dinner, like, if people bring presents, right on. And if they don't, they can still come and sit at the table and enjoy, and you meet people. And I think in that way you find success, just by surrounding yourself with great people. And then
I absolutely love that. What you just said there, I completely resonate with it, about it being Christmas dinner. And, if people come to the dinner and they've got some presents, cool, awesome. Yeah. But guess what? It's not mandatory, and you can absolutely come and sit at the table.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that if more streamers adopted that mentality, there would be a lot more fluidity throughout the app. I think that's a mentality that needs to be kept, and I love it, and I live by it in my stream as well. So that's really, really cool. I love that.
Yay, right? You all come down, sit for dinner.
That's right, man. And that's what it's about, man. It's just, I've got people that have been in my stream for my entire journey, and they're not relevant on my board whatsoever. They're not been gifted like 15 diamonds, but they've been here for a year and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
They spam comment, and they are constantly evident in my events, my shows, like the things that I'm doing.
Right.
They're there.
And then someone comes in like Santa Claus with their sack, and they're like, "Yo, presents for everyone!" And you're like, "Oh my God!"
Right? Yeah, there you go. I love it, and I think that's a great mentality to keep when you're streaming. Is work for the connections. And that's when you work for the connections, and you work and you show that that's an authentic nature, and that it's something that you do genuinely, that you just want to meet people and you want to have a good time with people. Yeah. This stuff up here is all byproduct. It'll all happen. Everything is natural. It can be achieved in a natural state without having to elevate yourself through other means on this app, which is something that we will talk about. I'm going to have an episode about it. I just, because there's different perspectives and there's different things about this app, right? And that's kind of what I'm doing this show about, is to teach people so that they have a better understanding and they can benefit from our experience. It's been an absolute pleasure. Do you have any events? Do you have any events or anything coming up? Any auctions, battle royales? Anything like that at all?
Besides the show, I don't have any auctions coming up, so you guys can stay tuned for the next auction and the name change. I do have a heart contest going on till the end of the month, so you get a little heart on the wall. As well as you can stay tuned for the 3-year stream reversary.
When is that?
It's going to be March 22nd. So my 3 years is in February, but I'm a little, it takes me a while to do things. So March 22nd, you guys can come and hang out for the stream reversary. DJ your boy is going to come DJ it up, so we'll hang out. It'll be a good time. Yeah, that's what's up.
Love that, man. I definitely will be through, man. If you have a flyer or anything like that, make sure you send it over to me so that I can put it in my story, and definitely will advertise a little for you, for sure.
Oh, thank you. I'd love that. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, if you don't know Lux, make sure that you hit her up, hit her with a fave every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go check out her tic-tac-toe trivia. I'm definitely getting in. We're getting in on the mix. We're getting in on the mix. Thank you, Lux. It's been a great show tonight, and I hope that you guys took some stuff away from this. I sure as heck did. I think that we're really on to something here good. And tune in, and every week we've got guests. We're booking 2 weeks out now. You see somebody down in the chat there that you don't know, hit them up with a fave. If you guys want to be a guest on this show, hit up Emoji J, Beard Raider, Queen Vibe Raider, Lucky Mama, or Masterpiece. All of them have Instagrams linked to their bios. You can hit them all up. And I appreciate you guys being here, man. Thank you. Jay, you can cut that recording whenever you like. 1 hour in tic-tac-toe featured show starts tomorrow night, Saturday night. And yeah, guys, make sure you tune in. The featured shows are really, really key. And if they're not getting the viewership, then they won't. Why would they do them, right? So make sure we go and check them out. Show love to these people that are putting a lot of effort and a lot of their time to put on this content and this entertainment for us. It's the least we can do. A view does wonders for people, right? And that's why I really resonate with what Lux said there about people come Christmas dinner and the gifts, and even if you don't have a gift, you can still sit at the table. I think that's a really, really good thing. We don't have to have money on here in order to support people. There's more than enough people on this app that carry money and that go around and do things for other people. Even if you think that that's going to be an effect for you, right? Oh, I don't have gifts. I don't have anything to go in there and gift them with. The app recognizes that. I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not, but the app actually recognizes that, and they throw EBTs up for you. So if that's a problem, you can throw an EBT up for a streamer. Going in and just showing support and being there means so much more than a monetary value. If the person's a real person, anyways. It's like having the people around me, the day ones that I've had that are still here, the people that have joined on the journey along the way, man, the people that I'm just meeting now, it's all because of you guys. It's nothing but love, man. I want you guys to all favor one another, go and show each other some love, because we got a great group here, man, a great group of humans. You guys can check my leaderboard, and my gifter board. You can go down the list. There's so many good ones there, man. So many good ones. Go and check them out. OGJ, big shout out to you, man. Beard Raider's not here right now. I'm not quite sure where she is, but that's okay. She does a lot of work behind the scenes, and we give her a free pass when she needs it. Absolutely. But hit Emoji J up with a fave. Go and check him out. He does stream as well, guys. Amongst doing all this work behind the scenes for so many featured shows, because I know he's got his hands in all of them.